Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, this is it. Make no mistake about it. I forgot the light over on this side, so you'll have to excuse me. I should go get the light. No, it's too late now. We'll go with the darkness over here. Hey, welcome. Yeah, we're recording live, but this is probably a broadcast that you're seeing and recording. We are working on an amazing shrimp frittata today. Yeah. So let me get into the chat room. We're going to go ahead and log into iVlog. Hold please while I mute the sound and bring up free love.
For free love.
Okay, we're on the road. We're talking to McDundee. Stove camera is better than ever. Focus, thank you. Yeah. What do you think of the face this potato's making? It looks like it's in desperate straits. Like it's going to be really, I mean, this is a messed up potato we're going to be working with today. It's going to require some cabbage. So I've got a head of cabbage I just shave off of. I got that for 33 cents, by the way. And let me get this camera over here just a bit. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so we're checking it out here. We're gonna get the cameras lined up. Obviously, everything has to be looking good. Okay, and yeah, this is a really good picture. We've got a wide angle lens now on this, and you guys can check it out. It's pretty good. Anderson Cooper, you're here. Welcome. You like to cook? Does that take your mind off of the day-to-day pressure of being an international star? Yeah, I can imagine how that feels. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. I know, Japanese cake, you're in a bad situation. You're going to have to work that out with your girlfriend. I'd recommend a therapist, a sex therapist, preferably. Maybe a therapist of any kind. Maybe a massage therapist for both of you and your wife. That's a better alternative, but it's cheaper than a sex therapist, massage therapist. Hey, Antonio, that's illegal. You can't do that. Yeah, this is your last warning. Yeah, well, I cook with. I'm barefoot when I'm cooking, so yeah, I always go barefoot. It's my Native American ancestry, unlike Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, so here we go. Oh, by the way, the onion, the organic onion I'm going to use is really nice. For these vegetables, this is typically $1, and I can get those 3 items right here for $1. And then I have $2 worth of shrimp here that's been gently thawing in water, and that's pretty nice. Got the tail on, so we'll be pulling the tail off. And I picked up some organic eggs at, Trader Joe's. Thank you. Didn't tuck my shirt in there. Yeah, check that out. $5.99 for 18 eggs. So I'm gonna use 4 of those. Yeah, or 24 eggs, excuse me. So 1/6, roughly, yeah, $1. Yeah, so typically these eggs are a lot more expensive. So for 4 eggs, you could probably get a dozen eggs, not organic, for $1 if you look around. But I like to eat really wholesome food, and as you know, I've developed a kind of a reputation for that. These will last typically a couple of months in the refrigerator, so. And I picked up some cheese. I got this for $1 a package. Now, normally I don't eat Cracker Barrel because it's a major corporation. Kraft makes Cracker Barrel now. But I thought, why not? For $1 for this bag. So I'm only using about 5 slices of this Colby Jack. Just kind of lay it on top. Okay, first order of business. Hey, I hope you can see me at iVlog. We are broadcasting, yeah. Whew, man, you cannot use pro cams in your own room. Oh, well, that's good. I don't plan on using pro cams in my own room. Yeah. So let's see if I could get this pro cam off. There we go. It's 4 eggs. This calls for 4 eggs. Virgin olive oil, yes, we're going to go with that. Virgin olive oil. We have some extra virgin here. Turn this burner on, level 3 in the back here. We have the Damascus steel knife here, one of them in particular. It's holding up the eggs. You can see it right here. See that? That is beautiful. We'll be cutting the onion and the cabbage with that, shaving it off. So let me throw the 3 tablespoons of oil on that. Yeah, if you don't mind. I know it's kind of an interruption. I do have to monitor chat, so you have to understand this can't be done by an average person. I'm on 4 different channels simultaneously. And hello over there at Cool Rock Party. Hey, and you guys cooking up politics, welcome. If you've just tuned into our show, I integrate a little political viewpoint along with cooking because I, of course, have been running for president since 2008 and getting no media coverage. So if you do happen to hear about us, do talk about us, please. The media doesn't want me to get out there because my points are so pitch perfect and right on that people are afraid to hear me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and throw that oil on there. Oh, I've got a little water in there. I'm going to drain that out. Yeah. So I typically just throw that 3 tablespoons on there. It could be 2 tablespoons for all I care. It doesn't really matter. Hey, yeah, let's get some coffee in me, Dave. Thank you. Hey, I hope everyone's enjoying the day. This is Tech Thursday, so I'm using technologies you probably would never see about 20 years ago. I don't believe that's true Japanese cake. You're making that up. Sarah would be the chief of staff and eventually the first lady. Yeah. We've talked about getting married of course you use salt if you want to use salt. You're the guy who's talking about salt all the time, Milrose. Yeah, I mean, we're going to use salt, of course, I'll show you the salt. I'm using a low salt potassium salt substitute. It's called light salt by Morton. And yeah, it's 1/2 of the regular salt. It's got potassium chloride in it. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and prep the vegetables, get things rolling here. This should be fun. Yeah, I hate to cut the face off of this because it's such an ugly face, but you got to take these little buds off, otherwise they're just going to propagate, and this dang thing will probably, be better eaten right now. So, okay, this kind of a meal, you can go with a peeled potato to make it a little cleaner. So I'm going to peel this potato over in David's kitchen. Let's bring this around. Check out my kitchen. Isn't this cool? I've got a couple of succulents growing there. Yeah. Let's do the peeling thing. Yeah, and what I'm going to do is kind of dice up the potato really tight and get that in the pan first and then throw some onions on top. What's so funny? Yeah, Beto doesn't do his cooking show anymore. He's not creative enough to do a cooking show. Yeah, I heard about that. Plus, there's that issue about him drinking, you know. And how about Biden being down 8 points below Warren? I mean, don't people realize Warren lied about her entire affirmative action thing? Oh, I know. Everyone wants a free education at the cost of Uncle Sam paying for it, meaning you, the taxpayer. Oh, I get it. She's bribing everybody with a free education. Yeah, because she got a free education. She lied completely about being a Cherokee Indian. I could have done that. I could have claimed I was Algonquin. I have Algonquin ancestries. I would have had a free education like she did. She has earned $8 million in income. Yeah. Okay, Antonio Slanderis. Funny name, by the way. Okay, we're going to let you talk. Try to be within the realms of our terms of service, meaning don't demoralize anyone in the room or myself. Thank you. But yeah, Joe Biden's 8 points down. That's ridiculous. So now he's going to take super PAC money. We'll see if that works out. Okay, let's move over here. Yeah, I thought he was going to be like really a Mr. On the dot here. Boy, that cut's incredibly smooth. Look at that. You can scallop these practically. Look at that. Wow. Always keep your eye on the knife. A knife this sharp is like razor sharp. Look at that. Man. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and dice it up. Throw the dices in there. A big potato like this will be fine for 4 people. But you may want to use 2 medium-sized potatoes if you don't have a big one like this. And the finer you cut it, the faster it'll cook. We're going to be cooking this with onions and cabbage. Now this is a gluten-free frittata, I might want to tell you, in case you're gluten intolerant. Nice. And I'll use my Rogers and Hammerstein Master Guild, Rogers and Master Guild, to scoop it up. This is from 1967. Yeah, everything's clean on my stove, so there's nothing to worry about. All right. You know, if you are a Jew, and I certainly like Jewish people, I respect your desire to be kosher today, so shrimp is kosher. Good news, huh? Yeah, we're having a problem seeing the room over there for some reason, the chat room over at iVlog, but, oh no, there you are. You guys are talking. Welcome. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of digesting of the news today. Yeah, so how dare you? Milrose, that's a despicable thing. I can't believe that you actually think you're going to be in the room for more than a few minutes. This is your first warning, and the next one's a ban. I know. Japanese is LGBTQ? I don't know. Hey, how are you, Japanese? Well, that's good to know. We welcome LGBTQ people. We have Larry Sinclair, the renowned homosexual prostitute that performed oral sex on Barack Obama in a limousine. He's in our room at iVlog, so you guys might want to hook up or something. I'm not gay myself, but I don't have any preconceived notion as to what, what's going on with your life. So you can have whatever you're going to do in the privacy of your own life. Just keep it away from, visible range of people. Yeah. Okay, let's get this thing rolling here. You got to move these potatoes right away. Otherwise they'll stick. You don't want to have them stick. Yeah, and the stove is hermetically sealed, so don't worry. So I really have to get something in here like onions, like ASAP. So I'm going to do that right now. Hello. Cutting the back off of this onion. Always look at the knife. Never take your eye off the knife. Whenever handling a knife this beautiful, always watch it and have respect for the knife, the blade. Yeah, because really, these things are super dangerous. You see that, Game of Thrones, you see people jabbing each other with knives. We're not living in that era, so most people aren't that coordinated, especially with the rising level of ADHD and autism. Many of you can barely even hold a spoon, which I understand. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but, be careful. I'm halfway through Game of Thrones, Antonio. Shocking photos of a congresswoman, Katie Hill, were revealed as she was seen naked, showing off Nazi-era tattoos while smoking a bong, and kissing her female staffer and posing nude on wife-sharing sites. Misanthropy, we're going to look at that in a little bit. I was just checking it out before I started the show, so you definitely intrigued me there. I think we're all intrigued to see that. Now, let's go ahead and cut this onion up and get that in there. You can use 2 medium onions if you want, but you really don't have to. This is an enormous meal. We're not going to have to worry too much. But nice tight cuts, about 1/4 of an inch max. Okay. Keeping your fingers kind of curled this way away from the onion. Otherwise, your finger gets under there, bye-bye finger, and that's not coming back. You're not like a salamander. You don't grow tails and things. I don't know of anybody who's ever grown their finger back. So be careful. All right. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to throw all these onions in here. Yeah. And I'm going to throw the pepper in there because I got a really good deal on the pepper. I just think it'd be incredible with the pepper. You don't have to do the pepper. It's totally optional. I got these for 50 cents a piece, so I'm going to go ahead and throw them in there as well. Dig the fact that I've got focus now. The other camera was so bad, I'm going to try to send it back to the manufacturer and say, could you replace the camera? Because I liked the camera initially, but it broke. The focus doesn't work on it. Okay, and as with everything, you got to get a nice dice going. So I'm going to use the French curl for the dice, putting the tip down and just bear down on it like that. The important thing is everything has to be nice and tight and very, very mashed. Yeah, this is going to be more like feeding for 8, so I may have over-dramatized the whole thing. Okay, let's get this going. Stir the base so it doesn't stick. Okay. Now I'm going to put my trusted Italian seasoning in there. Put about a 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. Give it another stir and then throw some water on that. So what a perfect solution. I've got some water with my shrimp, so I'm just going to throw some shrimp water on there. Another little spin. And now kick it up to 6. Okay. Level 6, we're going to get the steam fry going. Now the steam fry is something I invented along with the flex meal system. But hey, I'm just very creative. I like to do things that are extraordinary. Steam fry seals the flavors in. And you're at flex level 6. That's right. Flex is, you don't have a red pepper. You don't have a yellow pepper. You don't have any peppers. Antonio, that's just disgusting. Did you actually think you'd get by me? You're out of here, buddy. Anyway, yeah, you're talking about a process that seals the flavors in, and if you don't have the right ingredients, just flex. So the steam fry is cooking everything really fast now. Steam can cook faster than boiling water. And that shrimp water actually had a little shrimp taste in it, so it's kind of a cool thing to add. Welcome, yeah. If you make more money trying to attack our show, we are documenting this and you will be prosecuted in the international courts. I hope you realize that. Japanese, that's not appropriate. This is your last warning. Stick to politics. Try not to divert to sex talk, because we have some people in here who just turned 18. And as you know, Billie Eilish came in one day and I had to say, Billie, you're under 18, so don't come in here yet. But you can come in here anytime you want, and when you're over 18, yeah. I've been pumping iron for years, yeah. And I'm more like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that I'm kind of trimming down. I'm getting more of a lean body now, as opposed to the bulky, massive bulk that you have when you're older. Yeah, so I said, Billie, you're just not allowed to come in here. Metanemesis invited her to come in, and she came in the next day, and it was really her. That was amazing. Hey, let's give that another spin. We don't want it to stick. Now everything's moving really nice. And cover that right up. Don't spend a lot of time with it open. Okay, and then of course you can put your compost away at this time. This is a big important step. I'll show you what I do. Here's my compost from the peelings down there. You see that? Yeah, I've got a bin here that just says compost on it. And yeah, we just throw it in there. These Rubbermaids are the best form of compost containers because they seal the Tupperware. Yeah, they really seal the smell. If you get the kind with the carbon top on them, your whole kitchen will smell like dentrifying food, and that won't be nice. So it's important to have a seal on it. I don't know why they make those things. Okay, well, yeah. Dave thinks he has 35. Oh, I don't think I look 35. No, that's ridiculous. No, I'm a much older man, so I own my age. I don't really hide it. Thank you, Corky. I tried to get Sarah to get into the rotating compost bin concept, but she doesn't want to invest in any of those. Yeah, and I think it would be great for garden waste because she doesn't know what to do with all the plants that are, She actually, thanks, Slop Tobber. Sarah actually had to take all the plants from the garden and take it to the dumpster because she doesn't have a way of integrating them into her compost heap. She takes food waste in her compost heaps. So something like that you could throw in a turner, and the kids would sit there and turn it. It'd be fun, and it would break up all that viney stuff. I'm just throwing it out there, but she didn't want to do it. So I guess the dumpster got all the garden waste. Yeah, but I don't mind. I mean, she's onto something really great. She uses the food that the kids dump out in the garbage and puts it in the compost. And it's one of the only schools out here. Well, there are a few of them that are doing it, but she's winning awards. Yeah, she's really amazing. Just doing the green thing. Very popular here in the democratically led Washington state. You put veggie waste in a blender and pour that on a garden. Wow, that's an interesting idea. You are using energy to do that, but I don't know what that is, Darth. Okay, so what you're going to do is take, right now you're going to take these things and just steam them. These shrimp. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and steam them right now. So I'm just going to throw them on top of this. Won't take long. You saw that move where I just tossed it? Yeah. Hey, you're here to support me in the presidency, not Sarah. Because as you know, Sarah's not running. And if you do come in here to try to do that, I will ban you. Sarah might run someday, but she's not running right now. Kids love gardening. It's true. And thank you, Italian Seasoning, for suggesting that. Now, you can go in different directions at this point. You can go in a Spanish direction or an Italian direction. I've got this wonderful, it's got a little mix of chili powder and cayenne, very light. I'm just going to throw that in there for taste. This would be a good time for Patti LaBelle's, but I got to go in my storage unit to get it. Okay, give it a little sprinkle of about some sort of a chili powder or something. And kind of move all the shrimp in around the other items. There you go. These shrimp are raw, so they're going to take about 5 minutes to cook. So I'm going to go ahead and shave off some cabbage here, which is essential for the frittata. Yeah, it definitely speeds up the decomposition when you blend it, but you are using energy to blend it. That's my point. Hey, let's use some paprika too. Yeah, good idea. Let's throw some paprika in there for coloring especially. Nice sprinkle of paprika. Paprika lowers your blood pressure. You know what else is good? Cumin. Roasted cumin. Yeah, that's very good for your brain. Yeah, they say it helps people with their thought activation. I don't know. Well, I think you have to legally do this. You can't just do that in your garden. You're not allowed to use human waste in gardens, just so you know. A frittata is basically something with eggs that kind of nest the whole thing together. I don't cook it normally because Sarah doesn't like eggs, but I'm going to shave off this cabbage here. Great way to do it is to shave it right off with your super really nice knife here. And I'll show you how to keep the cabbage so it stays long in the refrigerator. That's probably enough right there, about 1.5 cups or so. We're actually cooking for 8 meals, but I'll tell you that later. And then what I do is I put a little water on it, like that. And then put it right back in a bag. Now normally I would Ziploc it, right? But I find that they stay longer when you tighten it down like that and get all the oxygen out of it. Yeah, so normally I'd think, well, yeah, you're going to Ziploc it, Dave. No, I'm just going to tie a wire or actually a twister around it. Keeps for days and days this way. And this is really one of the best foods you could keep in your refrigerator for the winter months because they last. Cabbage is great. I got this for 33 cents a pound, which is awesome. I'm going to throw some salt on this meal. Just a few shakes. And guess what? I'm done. I've got to pull my shrimp out. They're done. So let's see if I can pull them out without burning myself. You're saying, why do you pull your shrimp out, Dave? Because I'm going to actually cut them into smaller pieces and take their tails off. Isn't that nice? Cooking is so fun. I love to cook. Okay, I think we got them all. Let's see, we're rooting around here. Yeah. And those are getting a nice glaze. We're going to put the cabbage on top now. And let that steam up with a little bit more water. Just a splash. Throw a little salt on it. And a little more seasoning. There you go. And we're gonna get the cover on there and seal it up, and take it to level 3. Drop it to level 3. Okay, thank you for coming in, everyone. This is kind of cool. Cabbage is super easy to grow. You know, I've got cabbage growing in the backyard naturally. I've got a perma garden. Thank you, Ray Conniff, everyone. Yeah, I've got a perma garden back there, and the cabbage just grows naturally. So I figured, well, if I get really desperate, I'll just pull the leaves off and make soup or something. Canyon Country, California has got serious fires going on. Look at this, folks. You can only imagine how serious this is when your house is just a few blocks away, and everything in it, all your memories are about ready to get burned to a crisp. Look at this. Wow. Unbelievable. Holy moly, wow. Oh man, it's all going up. Oh man, this is terrible. I'll look at this a little bit later. Thank you for the link. Breaking 9/11. Yeah. You put your compost in a large PVC hole. Okay. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. A self-sowing garden. I'm almost there. I actually have things that regrow. Like you can put asparagus and artichoke. They grow every year. You don't have to do much of anything. Just top them off and weed a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull the tails off of these guys. There we go. These little shrimps. Now they've got shrimps now that are really kind of cool. They've got a place down in Baja that's growing them. Today I got a deal of $5.99 for a pound of shrimp, 16 count. They're big prawns. These are smaller. These are like 30 count. But I got 16 prawns in a pound, and I picked them up. They're from Baja, California. They're grown by a company that actually is based in Thailand, but they bought property in Baja. Isn't that a brilliant idea? Yeah. So they're really pristine waters down there. So I picked those up today. Yeah, I've got them in the freezer over here. I'll show you what I do. I look all around. I buy discounted freezer food. But here they are. Wild Baja shrimp, and they're big too. They're like, 1 pound for $5.99. Good deal. And then check this out. This is wild albacore tuna from Fiji. And I got that for $3.99 for a pound of that. It's like wild albacore from Fiji. I mean, just think about where the item you're cooking is coming from, Give it some thought. Well, let's be clear. I haven't been back to Fiji since Michelle and I were on that. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is the Cutco knife that never needs a sharp. Really good product. I'm just going to cut these in kind of like half or thirds. Yeah, so we have more shrimp going around. Yeah, that's right. So everybody gets a taste of shrimp in this meal. Just giving them a 1/3 cut. Doesn't take too long. And this is like $2 worth of shrimp. So yeah, you'd be surprised how expensive shrimp can be. Yes, you can get those baby shrimp, but they don't really have the same. Okay, now it's essential to put them back in. Give everything a good rotation too. Making sure nothing's sticking. Throw the shrimp inside and rotate those in evenly, dispersing them very easily around the corners. There you go. And the potatoes are breaking up nice. Okay, we're almost there, and now is a good time to put a little bit more, maybe a little more Italian seasoning in there. I was making my own Finney's herbs this past week, and I had oregano and sage. Okay, keeping that at low, we're going to take the eggs now and put them in this bowl. Let me break them and put them in here. Yeah, I was making my own Finney's herbs, or Fine's herbs, depending on how you pronounce it. Basil, oregano, sage, really good stuff. Probably use it to make my, well actually we're not going to make a turkey this year, we're going to get a Costco chicken. I know that sounds kind of funky, but just the two of us, we're not really that big of an eater. Okay, go ahead and mix the eggs up really well. All right. There you go. Okay, getting close to the finish here. Did you pull the shrimp switch? No, I didn't. David, cooking shouldn't take this long. It's almost done, Bangalitis. I mean, come on. Jeez. Yeah, we've got, I'm going to go in with a spatula and get underneath this so it doesn't lock down on anything, making sure that the bottom is good. Because the potatoes can still stick. Nice. Okay, what you want to do is get a caramelization on the bottom here. So, looks good. Once that cabbage is set, you kind of press it all together, caving it in toward the middle, and then pour the egg right on top, and then push it to all sides and let it sit, making sure it doesn't really accumulate in one area. Now turn your burner down to low or simmer and cover it up. Yeah, now you can turn it to a really low temperature and let it really slow cook. Yeah. This is the frittata part. Now this is a gluten-free frittata. You can use bread and various other things. People have made frittatas with breadcrumbs and other things, but gluten-free. That's the sound of that's an F-35 at about 1,000 feet above my house. I do put onions in my eggs. It's a perfect blend. Yeah. No, you don't want to add mackerel to this, but if you wanted to, instead of shrimp, you could add sardines. Mackerel's a little bit weird that way. You might want to do a pasta dish with mackerel. I did this the other day. Hey, Japanese cake, you're not allowed to do that. Yeah. So we're going to check out how this is setting, and I'm going to lay some, I'm going to actually flip the entire dish in just a second. The sound of cracked liver, I know. Mad Dog was working on those, planes when he was in the Navy. So he's had major vibration through his body, like up close and personal. I've just had, 1,000 feet away for the past, well, more so in the past 10 years than the previous 10 years. Not so special, says we cook whale frittata the same way. Well, I guess you can use whale meat. Yeah, good for you. It doesn't look unappealing yet. I haven't finished the dish off. Okay, I'm going to use my thin sliced Colby Jack. I'm going to pull about 4 little slices out of this. Yeah. I got this package for $1. It's Kraft. It's not the best cheese, but whatever. Make sure they're all separated. You don't want to put these little paper things in your dish. That's a real game ender when somebody's eating dinner and has this coming out of their. Yeah. So there you have it. I've got 4 nice slices I'm going to lay on top of this thing when I flip it over. Don't flip out when you're ready to flip it over. You got the wide angle going on here. Notice how it's starting to congeal a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to give it a good flip it in different sections. You want to get the cooked side up and the uncooked side down, and then go ahead and kind of bank it in like this again, all the way around with the spatula. Pat it down and cover it up nicely with your cheese. Now you can use Parmesan too, but I'm just going to use the Colby Jack and set it back in the burner, keeping it at a low. And what I do is, if I'm using stainless steel, I'll put a little bit of water on the outside. Believe it or not, that water will completely steam into the dish, and it'll be a complete meal. Yeah. So we're pretty much done. You're looking at the complete meal here. I think we could feed definitely 4 people with that. But if you have to stretch it out, you can certainly do that and feed more than 4 people. All right. One of the ideas is to add chili powder or a little bit more paprika for coloring. But I didn't add butter to this meal because I really didn't want the extra calories. I've never seen that psycho behavior. You're really kind of psycho there, buddy. You could put butter along the sides to keep it from sticking, yeah. But I'm going with a low calorie solution. And those organic eggs are top quality. Okay, we'll be right back at the other show. This is David signing out for another wonderful show. It's not easy doing this, but we have the technology, so why not? I'll be right in the room in about 2 minutes. Thanks a lot for coming in, everyone. Good night.
For free love.